Hello and thanks for joining us. We're starting with the remake of a notorious car chase movie filmed illegally in Paris in the 70s. The 9-minute short film C'était un rendez-vous was made at insane speeds by French director Claude Lelouch without permission. He strapped a camera to the bonnet of his Ferrari and hit the gas, mounting pavements and swerving into oncoming traffic. Now, nearly half a century later, the director has made a remake in Monaco, starring the racing driver Charles Leclerc. Peter O'Brien takes us for a spin.
There may be no Monaco Grand Prix this year, but the speedometer's still hitting more than 155 miles an hour on the city's empty streets. At the wheel of this Ferrari is Charles Leclerc, young Formula One driver and this morning film star. The man behind the camera is Claude Lelouch, reimagining his classic short film from 1976. In C'était un rendez-vous, he captured a high-speed lap of Paris with no authorization to do so. This time, shooting took place on the Riviera and within the rules.
Le circuit était entièrement bloqué, donc on a vraiment pu faire joujou et prendre des risques qui sont un véritable tour de manège, quoi. Voilà, j'espère que le public, en voyant ce film, pourra avoir la sensation d'avoir couru ce Grand Prix de Monaco.
Out on the 13th of June, the remake should give Formula One fans something to look forward to besides the season's return.
Next, he's the British artist who famously moved from LA to France last year so he could smoke and eat at the same time. Well, it was also because of the beautiful scenery in Normandy. During his confinement in Calvados, David Hockney published 10 iPad portraits of springtime. They are, as the title of one work puts it, a reminder that even in a lockdown world, they can't cancel spring. Let's discover the region that's captivated one of the world's greatest living artists.
There's a treasure tucked away in this small corner of Normandy. David Hockney has lived here for the past few months. Under that cap is the 82-year-old British painter, multi-millionaire and modern art legend. He published these photos of himself in lockdown, painting outside his new home. It's near Beuvron-en-Auge, one of France's prettiest villages.
On l'a vu 3-4 fois cet été. Oui, il vient manger aux forges, il vient manger à la crêperie. Il a sa voiture, son chauffeur, mais sans plus. On sent qu'il n'est pas pris par l'argent, mais plutôt par l'art.
We don't know much about his time here. The locals are careful to protect his tranquility.
C'est quelqu'un de très discret qu'il faut surtout pas ennuyer.
On le considère comme un trésor, hein, comme quelqu'un à protéger.
In recent years, his works have smashed sales records for a living artist. One of his pop art pieces, painted in California, went for $90 million. So why swap California for Normandy? His friend and neighbour, gallery owner Jean Frémont, convinced him to move here last year.
Il a le sentiment d'avoir beaucoup de choses à faire encore et il veut les faire. Et une des raisons pour lesquelles il est ici, c'est justement parce qu'il a voulu un peu se mettre en retrait des lieux où il est très connu, Londres ou Los Angeles, qui sont les lieux où il habite, et où il est un peu constamment harcelé.
In his own words,
we found a house that's just perfect because even in the lockdown, I didn't have to go out anywhere. I could have all these blossoms here. So I've really been able to get the arrival of spring here. And I've done it in 110 pictures.
the paintings will be on display in Paris next October. But he's not finished with Normandy just yet. He's gone to visit the Bayeux Tapestry several times and plans to pay homage to it soon.
Trade deals, diplomatic negotiations and European policy are not normally the sort of things that raise a giggle. But a new TV series has taken on that very challenge. Parliament is a satirical look at the inner workings of Strasbourg and Brussels. The show's creator was inspired by political comedies like Veep, In the Loop and Yes Minister. Olivia Salazar-Winspear takes a look.
Excuse me? Yeah, bitte?
Oh, Joe, this is Sammy, the French assistant.
We've all been there. The first day on a new job, the rules and regulations are a bit of a mystery. It's even worse when you work for the European Union.
Non, mais c'est très compliqué. Vous êtes nouveau, vous vous rendez pas bien compte, mais c'est très compliqué.
Et on peut pas aller se renseigner pour voir de quoi il s'agit?
Non, ça on peut pas faire.
Mais pourquoi?
Bon, ça fait 3 ans que je suis ici. C'est pas maintenant que je vais demander comment ça marche.
Parlement is a new French satirical series shot inside that very institution in Brussels and Strasbourg. The EU's beating heart seen through the eyes of a trio of parliamentary assistants, Sammy, Torsten and Rose. And while the episodes send up the political and diplomatic horse trading between EU member states, there was some multinational comedy behind the scenes as well.
I don't speak any French, so I didn't even know what the French word for action was on the first day. So there was quite a lot of joking about the fact that I just had no idea what was going on any of the time.
Liz's character Rose works for an English Eurosceptic MEP. The issue's highly divisive in the UK and a hot potato in Brussels.
Okay, I'll let you do your good work. Thank you very much for that. Mayor.
But for the show's creator, it's simply great material.
It's okay, I'm fine.
We felt like we have this whole land of comedy that we can, use now. Whatever you call them, far-right, sovereignist or something, they represent like 1/4 of one quarter of the European Parliament. So you need to have them in the picture. And we're obviously not going to be more gentle with them than with anyone else, so.
Screenwriter Noé Debré grew up in Strasbourg. He always wanted to write something about the Parliament, but Eurocrats didn't make for much of a storyline until the institution became headline news.
European politics is all about compromise, and they don't want conflicts to appear. But the thing is, politics is conflict, and conflict is drama. And so if you don't have conflict, you don't really have a story to tell. And that's why I think European politics is often so dull. And Brexit is definitely conflict. And so it's a very compelling story.
Divorce and reconciliation, passion and politics. The series manages to mix high-minded principles with ridiculous scenes and pulls off one major challenge, locating the laughs in Brussels.
And just before we go, the Senegalese superstar Youssou and Grammy-winner Angélique Kidjo were among a star-studded lineup of African talent brought together for a virtual concert to raise awareness about the coronavirus pandemic. More than 100 artists and celebrities from across the continent and the diaspora took part in the WAN Show broadcast online by the Worldwide Afro Network. It was carried by 200 African channels to mark Africa Day, and organised by France 24's very own music critic, Amobé Mévégué. Among the supporters was the British supermodel, Naomi Campbell.
Africa has had a rapid and effective response so far and must continue to invest in funding and resources to make sure that it stays ahead of this virus. Use your voice to call on our leaders in Africa to use this crisis as a moment to build our solidarity and deal with deep structural issues that affect our nations and their economies.
The event was modelled after the One World Together at Home concert in April that brought together Taylor Swift and the Rolling Stones playing from their homes. Malian Afro-pop star Salif Keita, Nigeria's Wizkid and Femi Kuti were among the stars performing from their living rooms, studio or garden, ending their songs with the line, "Together as one." The highlight of the evening was a duet between 7 Seconds star Youssou and Coldplay's Chris Martin, who sang A Sky Full of Stars. We'll leave you with that. Thanks for joining us. See you next time.
I don't care.
bët ma vie ci say loxo ci univers ci tàngaay ci say loxo budul yow guddi gi du
Pakistan's intellectual capital, Lahore, is known as the Pearl of Punjab. But its image has been tarnished by terrorist attacks. During the 2016 Easter celebrations, a suicide bomber killed 75 people, including several children. Fanatics targeted not just Christians, but the entire Western-oriented part of Lahore society. The city is finally embracing life again, with modern infrastructure, preserving its heritage and a cultural renaissance. Discover Lahore's vibrant energy in this episode of Revisited on France 24 and France24.com.